Hello everyone, this is Carley, and I thought it would be nice just to make a very quick video on the basic principles on how to use the matching stencil to EKC45. So as you can see, there's a few steps to this stencil here, and the first thing you need to do is to stamp out one of your flowers from the stamp set within a stamping platform. So that's exactly what I've done here at the ready. I've stamped mine with black archival ink, and the stencil has really been designed to go with PaperArtsy's Fresco finished paints. So that's what I'm going to be using today to show you how to apply the paints through the stencil. So you've got different designs here. So the top lot, if I bring that up, the top lot represent all these ones along here correspond with the smaller penstemon flower, and these ones here correspond to the bigger flower, and it's the bigger flower that I've stamped. So the basic idea behind it is you start at the top of your flower and you gradually work your way down. So I'm going to line up my step one. This does come with instructions as well. Now I'm having to do this a little bit away from the actual image. I normally like to be a bit closer than this, but because of the way I've got the camera set up, I can't get in as close as I would ordinarily like, but you'll still get the idea. So I've got Hey Pesto here, just one of PaperArtsy's Fresco finished paints. I'm going to pop out a small amount onto my palette here, which in this case is a piece of tin foil. I'm going to pick up, let me just get rid of that stray hair, pick up the paints with my stencil brush, and I'm immediately then going to tap the majority of it off so that I haven't got visible wet paint on my brush. That just then helps with it not bleeding under the stencil as you apply it. So now I'm just going to stencil through. So that, of course, it's masking off all the other areas as you're using it. So then you've got your top stem here covered. So my next step I've got down here is step 2, and you might notice that I've missed out a little piece here. So this bit corresponds to that bit, so that's what I tend to line up with next. Let me just see if I can do that. I've got something in the way which is stopping me from getting the stencil where ideally I want to place it. So let's just do that. Right, so I'm just going to hold it down briefly with a magnet, pick up my next, or pick up the same colour, do exactly the same. I've tapped off, stencil through, so nice and quick. Then, as you can see, gradually filling in that stem. We've now got step 3. So you just look each time to see where you haven't got any colour. So I know that this is now step 3. Spend a little bit of time just lining that up. So I'm trying to do this with an old pair of glasses. I'm waiting for new lenses to be fitted into my other glasses, so I haven't got them at the moment, so it's making it a little bit tricky. Right, so stencil through again. And because I'm not using a lot of paint, I'm not really worried about it smearing as I'm putting down my stencil each time. And then lastly, we've got step 4 with the actual foliage now. Now you might notice if I just pull that up a little bit here, the stencil stem part is actually longer than the stamp, and that is just so that you can elongate this flower if you want to, so you can make it taller by using the stencil. And you would just carry on stenciling down and then just add a black outline with pen to make that a little bit taller if you so desire. Right, pick up my next colour and you'll stencil that through. So as you can see, I don't always use the magnets to hold the stencil in place. And that's our stem now, and all the greenery on there coloured. But as you can see, we've got more steps, so I'm now going to come onto the flowers themselves. So I'm going to take candy floss, which again, PaperArtsy's paint. This is an opaque one now. Pesto was a translucent. Because I'm working just onto white background, it doesn't really matter if it's translucent or opaque. Opaque blocks out colour, translucent allows colour still to come through. And I've got another stencil brush here. So as you can see here, this one's bigger. So this is just very basic how to apply or how to use the stencil with the matching stamp set. So again, you can see step 5, you're going back to the top of your stamp. So you always start at the top and you work down. So with the greenery, start at the top, work down. With the flowers, start at the top, work your way down. So picking up that paint, again, you wouldn't put that through like that. So you'll want to tap it off so that you've got no visible wet paint, as you can see now. And then line this up and you'd apply your paint. So you can see I'm just tapping at the moment. Again, you'll notice here that some have been missed, and that is on purpose. So your next step, you can see here, if I get my brush out of the way, these two represent the two that have been missed. So you would then line up. You can see you do quite a few flowers with this one. So line back up. I've probably still got enough paint at the moment. Stencil through. So you can see how quick this makes it to colour by using the matching stencil. Okay. So you can see here, got more of the flower coloured. Just going to pick up some more paint. Again, tap off. And our last step now, onto step 7. So we can immediately see where we need to line up now. It's the only place left that hasn't got colour. Again, just spend a little bit of time because these line up absolutely perfectly. So, and stencil that through. There we go. So that's our whole penstemon there, now coloured with the Fresco paint. So that is a very basic tutorial on how to use this matching stencil with that stamp set, so with EKC45. So these two together. And this section up here corresponds to this flower here. Now, if you want your flowers to look more blended than this, I have a class coming up with LoobiCrafts, and that shows how to achieve blended flowers like this. So this gives you using those same two products, a perfectly blended result, just using a different technique. And it's that technique that I will be showcasing with LoobiCrafts on Saturday the 10th of April. It's all done within a stamping platform because now you stamp your detail back in. So always your last step is to stamp your detail back. So I've got archive a link here. My stamp is still on the lid of the stamp positioner. It hasn't moved. So I'm just inking that up now. My panel as well hasn't moved. So you would now, I'm going to have to just pull this down a little bit to clear the holder that the phone's in. So I'm going to give that a good press. Open that up, and that then gives you your detail. I will put a link in the description below for the class in case anyone is interested. It will be a closed Facebook group. It's going to be live on Saturday the 10th of April at 10 AM, but the live video will be saved within the group, and it means that you'll be able to view that at a time that suits you, and the class will be available still after that time as well. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.